Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome to Everythin Yet Nothin. Here's a hillbilly in eyeshadow who's looking fabulous and talking about anything yet something. Get ready to chew on a blade of sweet grass and talk about a variety of LGBTQ topics to the lifestyle of a gay hillbilly. Watch out, folks. These hills don't just got eyes. They got themselves a vodcast. Now, here's T-Roy.
Hey, and welcome to Everything Yet Nothing. Oh my God. If you haven't been watching the last 2 weeks, honey, you need to rewind your stuff and watch it because this is it. The last show. And let me tell you, I have had so much fun getting to know this individual because, you know, of course, it's kind of like my job to get to know people that's coming on my show because I get to pick who comes on my show. So, yeah. And so, I really got to learn a lot about this individual. And, you know, just by looking, you can look and tell that he's talented. You can look and tell that he is one person that is always going to stick out amongst everybody and don't give a shit about what anybody else says or thinks or does. I mean, hello, he lives his life. And I think a lot of us individuals that are who we are and how we are need to absolutely live our life to the fullest. Okay, you don't got to live my life.
Hey, look, Chip's on here. Say
I'm
hey.
living. Hey, Chip, what's up, Takatina?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Whatever. Yeah. I can't wait to get to the end of his story, and yeah, this isn't
The
it.
end. What about the rest of the middle?
We did that last week, honey. You weren't here. Oh, you were, but you weren't. I remember. It's okay. Husbands.
Who's that?
Oh, you're not my husband on here, are you? You're like
your assistant, evidently.
I call him my secretary all the time. He does not like that. He's like, I am not your secretary. Like, then what are you? My husband. You gotta love husbands. You can just do whatever. Anyways, this individual is very eccentric, and I love that. And he's very rainbowish. As you can tell, I don't like rainbow or anything. I mean,
oh, I meant to change that background.
Okay, my word. Okay, what you don't see is because it's green. And behind me is a green screen. So whatever I'm wearing is green. It does not show up. So like 4 shows ago, it was really funny because all you could see is my head. It was like I was like a ghost, dead or something. Ooh, I like that one right there. I didn't even see that one. So we're doing a little bit of downloading, uploading kind of thing, and I cannot wait
behind the stuff
to show what we are doing.
Check
right
behind
now.
the scenes on OnlyFans. I mean, Everything Yet Nothing.
What? And sheep shit are you talking about?
I like
Don't tell everybody our secrets. I mean, come on now.
well, we're gonna get more viewers.
Oh, true. Come on, everybody.
Not really, guys.
You know our secrets.
We don't have an OnlyFans.
No, we don't have secrets either.
If we did, we'd share the link in the bio.
For real. I mean, come on now. We need your business. We need everything. We need you to watch us.
Where did we go?
I don't know. It's Everything Yet Nothing. We went on the whole. I don't know.
That's
We're
just
here.
some rants that happen when I'm not paying
Yeah.
attention, guys. Sorry. Hey, Marcy and Casey.
Hey,
Donna.
Marcy. What's up? Hi, Donna. Mwah.
That's it.
So, Mr. Ace has an individual that is going to be coming on this show with him. And I hear that we're pretty dang lucky that this individual is actually doing this. So,
show him some love, y'all.
Thank you so very much. Yes, definitely show him some love. And I really appreciate it because I know how it is to get in front of a camera. And I mean, especially when it's worldwide and thousands of individuals are going to hear and see you. Not that that's supposed to like hinder you or anything like that. So, but sometimes it's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to be on worldwide TV. Yeah, it's all good. Because your man's got it, and don't you worry.
About a thing.
Okay, so this last week has been pretty decent. The weather has been crappy as always.
Whatever.
Ups and
We had
downs.
some beautiful thunderstorms.
Yeah, bipolar.
They were beautiful.
It needs to go to the doctor and get something for it because I'm so done with this bipolar shit. Like, I am so ready to like
Story
get
of my
into
life.
summertime and all that good stuff. Anyways, so yeah, this
I do want to take a moment, guys.
one more.
Shimnal might not be with us
Shenanigans.
tonight. She's been watching us since day one, and I just want to give her some
Yes.
loving
I love
words
you, girl.
and tell her that you're sharing her thoughts.
Get to feeling better.
Everybody that knows her knows she's
Keep the head
in
up.
the hospital with cancer. So I just wanted
And if you're watching,
have
girl,
everyone
you shake
pray
that
for
ass.
her.
Watch yourself. Shake it, shake it.
whoever your
Right.
deity is,
Who?
give Chanel some thoughts
Oh, yeah.
and some good vibes.
Give Shanae some Shanae. Okay.
Anyways, let's say hi to the boys.
All right, let's bring the boys out. And here are the boys.
What's up, Lewis? Scared of poor.
And here
I know,
is the boys.
Oh.
The boys
Hey, how are you?
The boys are back in town.
Sorry about that. Gotta love it. So what's up, Rainbow? Oh my God, you know what I like. I love Rainbow.
Well, you told me. See, the first two times you did your makeup how I wanted it. So when you recommended Rainbow today, I was like, done. We're going full out Rainbow.
I love
go.
it. Love it.
And we have my
oh my
lovely
God.
partner here of 5 years.
Hello.
But hi. So, you've been like behind the scenes, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how's
Like
that
you
been?
said, I had to drag him.
So is it really as hectic behind the scenes as it is in front of the scene?
Well, I don't know. In front of the scenes, he seems to keep it together pretty good, but behind the scenes, it's a
Behind the scenes. Yeah,
I'm
I feel it. I feel it. Like he's totally the same way. I'm like running my head off, and he's like, I'm like, babe, come on, man. Yeah.
How many times a day do you roll your eyes? You don't have to. Oh, well, he'd still see. I was gonna say you just have to put up numbers so we don't hear you, but he'd still see you.
You heard the huff
the screen.
all the time. It's usually either an eye roll, a head shake, or both.
Yeah. Too many to count.
People are like, "Did you see that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised."
Like, rewatch this and be like, damn, I did that a lot.
I told Ace that typically when there's people like Ace and T-Roy and they're partnered up, it's with people that have to hold them down. Like we have to ground them.
Yeah.
We did this really cute TikTok, and it was just one of those, oh my God, that should be a TikTok moments.
It was funny.
Because I literally walked up to him in the bar the other night, and he looks at me, and he's just like, hands me his freaking empty cup. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? Or who do you fuck think I am? And then I was like, oh my God, this would be a perfect
And
TikTok.
I was like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
didn't like it.
that's a little...
So I did it
Usually
again.
he
That's
hands,
okay.
I hand him something and he goes, "What am I doing with this?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they
refilling
expected me to
Hello.
do with it.
Right? Or he'll say, I'll be like standing there and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, he's like, "Words. Use words. What do you want?" Can't read your mind.
Yeah. I do that to him. I'm like, babe, I cannot read your mind. So I need to know what you're thinking. So I know where to go.
He's the
Because,
quiet one.
like,
Yep.
I'm lost. Right now, I am so lost.
How are
He
you feeling
looks at
about
me
this?
like, you
Good.
should know what the hell I'm talking about. No,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, that's usually what I get. How was it? Good. So it was terrible? No, good. That's the best word that I've got. Good. You did
Yeah,
fine.
totally. I do that with my hair. Like tonight, I'm like, babe, does my hair look good? Oh, yeah, it looks good. Really, seriously, I don't want it to look like shit. And he's like, no, babe, no, it looks
Oh,
fine.
now that you point it out. No.
So yeah, I get that all the time, and we only have one mirror, and it shows this side of me. So I want like wall to wall mirror, so I don't have to ask him. I can
He
just
says-
know if it's like flat or looking like crap,
Right.
or be all like look around me.
Guys, he says we have one mirror. That's a mirror. That's a mirror. Somewhere
It doesn't
there.
show the
There's
back
a
of my
mirror.
head though.
There are plenty of freaking mirrors
Honey, I
just
am
in
not
the
gonna
studio
pick this mirror
alone.
up and hold it behind me. I'm not gonna do it. That's pretty damn big.
Not to mention all the freaking glitter all over the place. I look down there. There's a pile of glitter.
There's a lot.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Mason's like,
But it's so much fun because I
Wait.
dress up with my glitter and everything,
Glitter,
and we go out to the big
sequins,
Princess Star.
fur, and Mason. If you want to see Mason into a tizzy when he gets home after like being on the road, he comes in and he's just huffing and sweeping and stuff. And I'm like, I already cleaned. And he's like, well, obviously you didn't get all of it. I'm like, well, glitter sticks to some things. And he's like, yeah, now I gotta get the rest.
Right.
Or he's like, can you not do glitter in here? Like, well, we have to watch TV and I have the material has glitter. And he's
Go
like,
outside.
then stop buying glitter or go outside. Yeah, that's what he said. Go outside.
I love it.
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
all over the place.
It's all over.
Hey,
All over the place.
Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Todd says, hey, boys.
Hey. Hey. So we have a Donna on here, Chipster. Hi, Lois. Marcy.
Lewis is the one that says, scare the person before he even shows up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's it so far.
I'm not showing my bottle.
I'm telling you, though, Mason's one of those people, though, if he opens his mouth in a general space, everybody listens because he doesn't say much. And so, or if somebody ticks him off and he goes off, I just sit there. I'm like, you brought it onto yourself.
Me. That's me.
Oh, see, I'm usually the one that's like, just, not cordial and stuff like that. And then Mason's eyes will get big or he'll like kick my foot or something like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's always signs. There's tricks, like.
Or people are like,
up his ear or some
does
shit.
he like not like me or have RBF? And I'm like, sometimes it's both.
Well.
The only time we ever got in a bar fight is because of T-Roy.
Yeah. Homosexual.
About 11 years ago,
Mhm.
We were in a straight bar. And the way it went down, though, is we were going to karaoke, and it literally was
Karaoke.
the DJ, and then our friend, and then T-Roy sang, and then it was my turn.
Mhm.
So the DJ sang, our friend sang, T-Roy sang, and this group of honkies in the back was all F-bomb this, F-bomb that, listen to him, blah, blah, blah. Well, when it got to my turn, one of them went up there to put in a song, and I was like, hey, dude, we're just here to have fun. You're here to have fun. There's no need for name calling. Let's just leave it at be. And he started mouthing me, and then T-Roy stands up and he's like, you leave him alone. Well,
That was
he pushes
nice.
T-Roy, and I jump off the stage and Superman punch him in the face.
He did. Like, I've never seen a white boy jump so far. I mean, he didn't. It wasn't high. It was far. Like,
The theme
he
song that
jumped
comes on
from
is
the stage on the 7-foot guy, took him down. He was all like whooping his ass. And then his friend sideswiped me and broke my nose and literally loosened up the side of my face to where I could blow my nose, and literally the whole side of my face. But
Felt like.
no, it literally was a bloom and would like bloom out. I'm like, ah. So I was like going for blood. I wanted to kill the. And so he had to like drag me out of the damn straight bar. I mean, like we would ever go through anything like that in a straight bar. I mean, come on now.
All I can see is him flying through the air, and you have the slow-mo scene of, did you ever know that you are mine?
I love it. We're gonna have to like redo that video and do it to that song.
Right? No, I'm not going to.
Hey, leave it to a drag performer.
I'm old
I think they
now,
like
it's not gonna be
the
as
comedy
fun.
slow-mo version.
No,
Right?
cameras are so tricky though. We can like make you fly far and it not really be far. Just a step.
Our friend David.
Because we are
wants to
stunt
recreate
people.
The bar scene fight.
Do we have any more questions, or do you want to go into pictures, or do you guys have questions for him?
Okay, so there is one thing for your
look.
Mr. I know, right?
Green.
My puff
Yeah.
bar's green.
Pride colored.
Oh yeah, totally. So there is one thing that I like to ask individuals that come on here
I thought we were
that
gonna do that
have
later.
a special individual beside them. And if he would like shut up and listen, then he would know. And so and that is one thing from you to him. If there is like a moment in time that it was like the last moment on earth whatsoever, and you absolutely wanted to look at him and tell him how you truly feel about him, how it's been, and what you can't wait to look forward to.
Are you trying to make my makeup run halfway through the show?
Right.
So
I wanted to hear about the date.
So go, think about that, and yeah, the date for sure. Like, yeah,
All right, so you're gonna think about what T. Roy said
yes,
throughout the show.
yes, that'll be towards the end of the show.
But I want to hear about this date.
Yeah,
So
we
the
can talk
first
about the
date.
date right now.
Oh, our first date.
Yes.
I'll let him tell it from his perspective.
Oh, please do.
So I get to his house and we plan to go to lunch. So we go to lunch. And on the way there, the first, I guess, red flag was he ran like 4 stoplights, wasn't paying attention. He was talking, imagine that. And ran 4 stoplights. So I was like, okay, cool. And then we get there. And then he spills my water on me.
Nice.
I was like, cool, whatever. And then when we were leaving, somehow he came up with, he asked me if I knew the difference between a lamb and a goat, right? Or no, a lamb and a sheep. What was
Yeah. It was a goat and a sheep.
it? So he proceeded to tell me the difference in sounds, like the animal noises.
So what are the difference in a goat and a sheep?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Meh versus meh.
And then he did a peacock.
Yeah. So the worst noise in the world. I was like, you want to know the worst noise in the world? And he's like, sure. And I was like, a peacock. And then I went, you know. Anybody in their car listening, forgive me. I was just giving you that. You may have to turn your volume down, but I won't do it again.
Yeah, and it was
But
of a
again,
bird.
in the middle of the restaurant. But anyway, so
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So then I got like real big like serial killer vibes. But I decided to stay. So
yeah.
here we are.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is a good
He just
sign.
wanted to see what happened next. When I met him, don't let him lie to you. When I met him, he was a psych nurse, and that's how he did his research. That's what it was. You know, he's like, how do you deal with a crazy person? Well, Exhibit A.
I bet you are the smartest and the most experienced at doing so because hello. It's all thanks of you, Ace.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm the reason why he is the way he is now.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that that's where, see, the thing is that's when I know that I'm getting on his nerves because he gets the eye roll or, you know, he gets like the head shake or whatever. And I'm like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he definitely, I think that, and I think that he stayed because he's like, what's going to happen next? Like, if I don't die, things could be interesting. You know?
I know
And
it's a
like-
good day if I
And like, mind you, he did not even tell me that because I was in trance mode. I didn't think anything of it. He didn't tell me that until we'd been together for 1.5 years. And then he's like, "This is what happened," and I was like, "I mean, I was just teaching the note. Like, I didn't know it came off that way." And 4 stoplights, no way. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I'm not surprised, but
I'm not surprised. Well, at least you know yourself.
Yeah.
hey, you know." And every time I tell the story, I have to teach everybody else the differences. So
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Man.
That's great. I love it.
yeah. And now he's a travel nurse. Now he travels all over the place.
Cool. So you like being a travel nurse?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
I like that. It's pretty. It's love it.
something.
That explains all.
So how far off do you travel?
Well, I went to St. Louis first, which was a mistake, but I went there first.
5 hours away,
And then
Yeah.
now I'm in Kansas. I'm in Wichita, Kansas.
4 hours away.
Oh wow.
Next we're going
Hey.
to Florida. So,
And next we're going to Florida.
Wichita, Kansas is like the most driest, flattest place I've ever been to. I've had my grandparents lived up there whenever I was younger, so we'd go up there for like wintertime, and it was the prettiest in the winter. Other than that, it was shitty. Like, I mean,
Weather-wise.
See,
great.
we're just
Kansas
testing the theory of distance
Kansas
makes
is
the heart go
wonderful. I
fonder.
love Kansas. It's the greatest place on earth.
There you go. I try to sleep whenever we go to Colorado. I sleep right
Oh yeah,
through
totally.
Kansas.
He does. I drive 10 hours.
Hey, I've been trying to send him a pair of ruby slippers, but shipping just costs so much.
I know, right?
I've been clicking my heels. Nothing's happening. I'm like, if I can save on gas with these prices, I will click my heels and appear happily.
Oh, yeah,
right,
totally.
exactly.
What was the comment that popped up?
Donna's from Kansas. Donna Hyatt.
So, I'm sorry.
Love you, Donna.
Well, there's a reason she moved to the
Love you,
Ozarks.
Donna. Oh, yeah.
I guess that's it.
Girl,
She's from Kansas. That's all the reason you need just to do.
That's it.
Just joking, Donna. We love you, girl.
Wait, Kansas City, from Kansas. I was going to say Kansas City, Kansas City, Kansas City, Missouri.
She just said Kansas.
Yeah.
Kansas is where I'm from.
I'm
from Kansas too, but I'm from Kansas, Oklahoma.
And it's not flat.
No, it still has some Ozarks in it.
Nor is it dry.
Oh, yeah. Well, and of course, mind you, we're going back to Florida. I'm originally from Florida, like I said in the first episode. So going back to Florida, and Mason's like, I want beaches. And I'm like, cool. I want to be I want to be back in entertainment. So let's go. So we're gonna venture down there. Maybe take a few pit stops along the way. By the way, I just want to pause on this. Have you ever heard of Fire Island?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just watched a documentary on that. That's like Cherry Grove. That place, I'm like, I just want to go and stay the whole summer. Like that place, anything goes.
Yeah.
I'm like open-minded. You can do whatever you want, dress however you want, like whatever, or not dress.
I love it.
For me, I'm just like, and they said that it's just like, it's literally like heaven. Just going there, just, you don't have to worry about anybody, pushing anything. It's just every person for themselves. And there's so much entertainment there. In fact, Lady Gaga used to performed there. Liza Minnelli performed there. I can't think of his first name's Cummings, but Alan Cummings, he's performed there. But yeah, Liza Minnelli, Lady Gaga, as she started getting her fame, they had her book there, and they're like, oh, she's not going to come. She's too famous. She showed up.
Nice.
And I was like, that's Lady Gaga.
The majority of her fan base is gay, though. She has to.
Right?
That's right. That is true.
Yeah, we got that bitch.
Right?
Speaking
of dressing it however you want to, if you want to go through some of those pictures, I'll tell you stories behind the look.
Oh, yes, we love stories.
We can dress how we want to.
Yeah. Actually, so this was the first outfit. This one, not the hair, because the hair I have somewhere here. I still have my first hair, though, that I wore for my outfits. But this was the first outfit that I wore when I went out to my first bar in Ace Drag.
Oh, really?
Nice. That's cool. Hell yeah.
I love that. This is awesome, too.
Okay, so that one was originally, and is possibly going to be in a magazine, but it was originally for a magazine cover. And then it was my cover photo on Facebook for a long time. But that's one of my favorite pictures. That was also one of my first photo shoots. And that coat, the first comment I ever got on it was, how many Muppets did you have to kill to make that coat? And I was like, good question. We'll have to ask Joanne Fabrics, because I just got it all from there.
All right.
All right, what's the next one? Oh, that one was my I hosted one of the first big Pride drag shows in Rogers, Arkansas. And that was me hosting at it. As much as I wish that all those tattoos were real, one day hopefully they will be somewhat close to that. But yeah, and actually that's the same hair that I'm wearing today, but that was my second jumpsuit, Elvis jumpsuit, that I ever made. I feel like it gives Bert and Ernie vibes, though.
I don't know. I love it.
I do too.
I love the sleeveless Elvis suit style. All right, what's
exactly? And that with the open chest.
Oh, this one. So this was actually one of my most recent. Got that favorite top hat that's up there and everything in it. But that's probably one of my favorite Ace pictures because it just has the hearts. I feel like a ringmaster / like Willy Wonka of hearts.
Yes, I love it.
My drag son, who I mentioned last time, that takes a lot of
Yeah.
my photos, Lucas Alexander Photography. He is incredible, and he did that photo. That's one of my favorites.
Love it.
Oh, I love this one.
Okay, so that one, I have a ruffle coat over there. Actually, when you guys get to see some news in my logo that has a story with it later, that is actually the photo that he downsized to create my logo. So definitely keep that picture in mind, that ruffle coat with the hat and everything.
We'll pop it back up when we pop the logo.
Okay.
But we'll do that later.
Okay.
Because we got to talk about the future first.
Future.
Right.
Oh, I love this one.
So that's Powerline from Goofy.
I love it.
Mason thinks it's hilarious because it looks like I'm wearing a diaper. But I was in a phase of actually designing cod pieces, and if in person it looks more like a cod piece than a diaper. But I actually, so Powerline, my drag son, what kind of could pull off Max, and I always wanted to, and my drag mother was always like, somebody needs to do a Powerline number, and I was like, okay. And so one of my first big drag numbers was we did eye to eye into the perfect cast and stuff like that. My drag son and I, he dressed up as Max and I dressed up as Powerline. And that same outfit, I went to a local Comic-Con here and met the guy that voices Max in that outfit as Powerline. So
that's
cool.
awesome.
That's super cool.
That is awesome.
And I can do the perfect cast. I'll have to do it at a show sometime.
Woo-hoo.
That is Taco. So that is my dog Taco. That was from one of my first photo shoots as well. That was taken the same time that I had the fur coat one on, but he happened to be like running around my feet, and so I was like, you know what? Let's do a picture with my lovely puppy. Even though every picture, no matter what, he could look the cutest thing, but the minute somebody takes a picture, he looks horrified. He always looks like he's like looking into the soul, like, what's happening?
He does kind of look like one of them fox bats right there.
I tell people that the reason why I got him was because I was hoping that one day I would get a discount at Taco Bell. But half of the people that work at Taco Bell now are so young they don't remember the Taco Bell commercials with the Taco Bell dog.
Right?
What?
Here, lizard. Hello, lizard.
So
right?
we started watching this new show started watching this new show on Peacock called Girls 5 Eva, and it's just like an old girl band that's regrouping, like they're in 40s now.
Yes.
So this guy's like, well, these people were in like 99, 2000. Do you remember them? He's like, I was a baby in 99. Yeah, it's old school. It reminds me of my mama's titties. I was like, oh wow. But that just reminded me of that. I love the eyes though. We got to talk about the eyes in here. You got two flags going on. You describe it for the people that aren't going to hear it on Spotify or see it on Spotify.
My eyes. So I have the pride flag on one eye, and then I have the trans representation on the other eye. Shout out to my trans brothers and sisters, as well as my non-binary ones. Love you all. And definitely, I mean, that was one of the things that when I started doing those photos and stuff, I actually, one of the photos that didn't make the cut was like one of the no hate photos. And that's originally whenever I did that one, because I wanted to be able to say no hate on the back of my hand and have the trans flag as well as the pride flag. However, one day I'd like to do all the looks so that we have the pansexual flag and the demisexual flag and different looks and makeup with that to be able to create like a whole t-shirt or a whole design or something.
You could do a whole calendar.
In fact, here we go. Maybe he won't look so horrified.
No.
Horrified.
He's like, what the hell, Dad?
Not again.
He's like, I didn't want... Okay. So that one is actually, remember the Lady Gaga shoes that looked like hooves that were like,
yes.
So those are actually inserted into that. I did that as a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer number, and did like a fawn mix. I got my red glitter nose, my antlers and everything like that. And that was one of my favorite builds. Every time I do it at a show, people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so crazy! It looks so real." And I'm like, that's because you're drunk, honey.
So do you make all of your costumes?
I do. Yeah, I made all of the ones that I've shown so far, except for minus this one. This one I acquired, but a lot of my costuming that I've shown so far I've made. Yeah, that was one of my favorite looks. Originally we dressed up for Halloween as Rocky Horror Picture Show a lot, and I built that outfit. First, I built it because I was going to design a YouTube kids show, and I was going to have a character named Matthew Can Do and teach math. And then I was using it for Eddie in Rocky Horror Picture Show when we dress up, because he'll do Frankenfurter and I'll do Eddie. And at Halloween, that's usually like the go-to. And then I did that one, and I did a Pride fundraiser for the Equality Center locally. And they had me do the AIDS crisis for the No Hate AIDS crisis, and I had the sign and everything. And I performed the song "We're Not Gonna Take It, We're Not Gonna Take It," and I had that full outfit for that with the green hair and everything. So that was probably one of my favorite looks for that Pride that year. Is there any? Oh, that one. So that one was actually advertising a little cabaret burlesque show kind of thing.
Nice.
Unfortunately, that coat I did not make. That was the Spirit Halloween one that everybody bought this last year for the 20s. And I happened to find that hat at a costume shop over in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they just worked well together. And I was like, I'm advertising the cabaret show. What better way? These combined. So that was super fun, and that got me a couple hosting jobs as well. That was a good one. I've always been a fan of hats too, as much as I love my hair pieces and my head pieces and everything. My hats are my go-to.
Oh, I love hats.
Yes,
and the bigger the better.
Ones that
it's
I put
just
up
like
there.
with oh, I didn't even download this one. Hold on 1 second. We got another.
Okay. Well, and don't get me wrong. The one thing that behind every entertainer is an incredible critic. Because Mason's really good at being like, no, you don't need to go out and look like that. Or, at the end of the day, yes, they can be a little bit bitchy, but it's, they're also your best friend and your lover. So they'll tell you the stuff that nobody else will. Everybody else will just pick, oh my gosh, did you see? Where they're going to be like, no, that looks stupid. Or you're going to come off as a fool. And as much as moments I'm in my diva mode, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. In my head, I'm like, thank gosh he said something now.
Right. Yeah. I'm totally with you there.
Okay, so that one, that was another one that my drag son took. That pompadour was designed by a local wig artist called Hello Wigs. And that's actually a hair piece that goes in there. I love pompadours, but I never really had a natural hair color pompadour. And then, yes, that outfit, however, I did make. It's actually a full sequin Elvis suit with a big heart belt buckle and everything like that. And that's one of my favorites. The first thing that I ever did in that, I sang Michael. Well, I now sing Michael Bublé in it and do Feeling Good, and it's kind of my tuxedo kind of look. But the first number I ever did in it was I Want to Dance with Somebody, the male version. But it wasn't Whitney Houston, obviously, but it's one of my favorites because I whipped the cover up off and I have that on, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, sequins!"
Yes, everyone loves to reveal the sequins.
Right. So that actually is a picture of my drag daughter and myself. That's Ambrosia Hearts, and we were at a bingo drag fundraiser. And that was one of the first ones that that was the first time I ever did the heart over the eye before I did it at Continental when you guys saw me. And so when I was getting ready for Continental, I was like, oh, I need to do that heart look again and see if I can get it cool over my eye. But she's a sweetheart. She is a upcoming diva, which means that she is a female that does over-exaggerated drag persona, which is super cool. She just competed for Miss Diamond Diva, and she's growing so fast. She's willing to learn anything. She's involved in the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. She's involved in all kinds of fundraisers. She's just an incredible human being.
Awesome.
But cool. But definitely, yeah. Being in the drag community, like I said, when you get a platform, you really thank you so much, Chanel. I'm glad you like them. It's definitely a labor of love. I mean, those things take a lot of time to build. And as I say, drag ain't cheap. There's plenty of times that I'm like, hey, so this is what I'm investing in. Will you help me out? And he's a sweetheart and, usually tells me yes. But it's definitely one of those things that we kind of have to talk through it, because having a partner, and having things to invest in, especially because I'm getting ready for this showman pageant as we kind of like move into what's to come.
Right.
I am competing for national showman for the United States, and preparing for pageants. Yeah.
Oh, honey, you got it. You got it. It's okay.
Thank you.
Cheap.
Preparing for pageants is not cheap. I mean, just the cost of feathers for
Oh yeah.
a headpiece like this one that I showed you guys. I mean, just for 12 feathers, it can be around $50 to $75 just for 12 feathers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the cost of ostrich feathers right now. And so
that adds up.
Building the big back pieces, building head pieces, building stoning things, which is a traditional, thing in drag. But and sometimes, I'll drag him into stoning and stuff. Of course, there's the eye roll. But it's a labor of love. Like, he's one of those that he'll roll his eyes, but he'll still do it. He'll just bitch the whole time. I'm gonna lie.
And I'll even say it. I'm like, I'll do it. I'm just gonna bitch while I do it.
Sometimes you don't even tell me. You just know it's coming.
Yeah. Cotton works really wonders. Like, if you put cotton in your ears during that moment.
I do want to take a second.
Or cock rocks or something.
Hi to Chanel. I know we already said hey to Chanel. As I said earlier, guys, she's in the hospital and they're doing some procedures to get her stem cells. And then she's gonna have to go back in. It's bone marrow cancer, so they're taking marrow out and radiating it, and then putting marrow back in a couple weeks. So
I love you, Chanel.
We love you, girl.
We love you, hon.
Thank you for being a regular. It's so great having your support, even when she comes on my lives on Facebook as I'm getting ready or whatnot. Did you ever go back and look at that video of me getting ready?
Oh yes,
yes.
I was gonna try some stuff, but I didn't take my nap today. As you can see, I'm all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I'm tired. I've been driving.
Right? That can do it too. Like, driving is the most.
I will say I'm thankful. I'm really thankful for the fact that, aside from, of course, having a life here and, him having his job there, he's, even when we started dating, I'll get back to the future stuff here in a minute, guys. But anyway, when we started dating, it was one of those things where it's like, well, you come down to see me. I'll come up to see you. Mind you, I only drove down once when we first got together seeing him. He drove up every weekend that he could. He was here. And then even through our relationship over, I guess we're almost at 5 years, and he's still, even going off to work, and he'll drive the 4 hours home, even if he just here for one day. It's definitely something that doesn't go unnoticed.
That's awesome.
But anyway, moving forward into, future things, I've got the showman competition. We're looking at the possibility of, we're building a tour right now for our show, myself and another drag artist, which I kind of mentioned and touched on last week. We've got the go ahead for some prides that we're appearing at. I may be auditioning for some TV shows in the future that people could eventually see me on. Who knows? But of course, ending up eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, and knock on wood, everything. Doing a show in Branson and having the first queer show. That's kind of what we're hoping this tour moves into, is being able to have a real spot.
Absolutely.
After the show, we got some things to talk about.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. But definitely, and I think that's the other thing, that doesn't go unnoticed is, as I prepare for these events, as I do, it becomes, after you've been together for a while. I mean, you guys know this, but it goes unspoken, if you need help, or, some people don't realize that being in the drag world, I mean, being out in front of people, T-Roll, this, we're high energy. It's draining sometimes. And then you come home and you're ready to chill, and, they're there to hold you, and, things are going to be okay. Or be able to be like, that person that said that, they a hoe. Yeah,
right.
So the reality is, we're there to hold you guys after the effects, when you guys are drained because your energy's gone, because we're freaking tired and we're ready to just go lay down too. We've had to deal with it all day too. So come on, let's just wipe it all off and go lay down for a minute.
That's what it is.
The picture takers. They're the picture takers. The hold this. The can you carry this, and can you take videos of this? Can you take pictures of that? Can you? And by the end of it, they're like, listen, the audience didn't wear me out. You wore me out. So let's go home.
All right.
And I'm going to post this one too on TikTok somewhere. But during Eureka Diversity, they, as with the bearded babes, and they were like, pit crew. Tacky Tina's shoe blew out. And that was the first time. Hey, pit crew, will you go get my shoes? And then, yeah, it was just.
Hey, see, Mason's one of those that he'll just, sometimes I'll be like, can you do this? And he's like, I don't know, can I? And I'm like, oh my gosh, please, I love you. And he's like, oh, really? Or it's one of those moments where it's like, we'll remember this later when you get irritated. Like, oh, don't even.
Don't even. I don't want to even.
Right.
Yep.
Or he makes me have to be this like huge diva, and I'm totally not.
I know. Don't you love it, Ace?
Right.
I think it's just
never a
let's
diva.
put it this way.
What are you talking about?
I'm not unintentionally needy most of the time.
Just all the time.
Just some of the time.
Just all the time.
I mean, in Leroy's defense, when we did get together and I went into his room the first time, he did have one of them pillows in purple sequins that said high maintenance. I should have known right then.
It was like, boom, bitches. It is up there.
I tell Mason all the time I'm high maintenance, but then he's like, you're really not that bad.
That pillow was the only high maintenance I've ever been. I'm just saying. That's why I had it. Whatever.
But I mean, moving forward,
250 stairs, one way. Just saying.
Say what?
250 stairs, one way. Just saying.
Oh,
what I was gonna say is I'm gonna put it on TikTok. I filmed the steps that I took when I had to go get his shoes for him.
Oh.
And we were all the way up at the top, and we parked all the way down below by New Delhi. And I went downstairs. So, of course, I went upstairs because I'm point A to point B kind of person. I'm not going to go the easy way. I'm just going to go the fastest way.
So that's why you was out of breath, buddy, and just done?
So the first time I did it in
never
time lapse. So it looks like I'm just speeding up stairs. And after the second run of stairs, I did it in slow-mo. And you can hear me going at first before the slow-mo kicks in.
It's funny though, because that's when I get the eye roll. Can you go get this? We didn't get out of the car the first time. Like eye roll, and he's just like, "Give me the keys," And then like all I can hear in the back of my head, even though it goes unspoken, is like, "You're gonna owe me for this."
Always,
and it always comes at the inopportune moment. Like, would you clean the house right before I get home or something like that? And I'm like, "You're lucky." You're like,
right?
But then I never clean the house enough. That's the thing. I can never clean enough for his standards. I'm like, you should have seen it before I started cleaning.
You should have seen it 20 minutes ago before you even got here.
Right.
Don't look into the rug. Do not look in the closet.
Yeah.
We're not going to bed right now. The lumps are there for a reason.
Right. But moving forward, I think, the locks are there for a reason. But moving forward, I keep having to bring myself back to it because I always get sidetracked. That's my life. Anyway, forgive us people that are listening. Anyway, but moving forward, I think I'm wanting to move. I love being in the drag community and working and stuff like that. You're getting a lot of highs, and I think that I kind of want to expand into more of like a performer personality, I mean, obviously not as incredible as Lady Gaga. Everyone could hope to be that, but
honey, you're already there.
But having the talent of Lady Gaga, she's worked hard for that. I mean, I've worked hard, but I've still got a ways to go. I know I do. But moving into being a face for growth that hasn't happened yet. Like for example, I said, having that first queer show, in Branson, that's a huge thing. Yeah. Or having, absolutely. Or being a face of that's not afraid. That's like kind of like what you do, even in Branson. You walk around and it's like, yeah, this is what I look like. I have run into people, that have obviously queer bashed or they don't care, what I've done. But I run into more people that are either in shock that want to look at my makeup, or they want to just like meet me and talk to me. And I think that I tell them all the time, I'm like, I appreciate that so much that you just want to meet me and talk to me and just, treat me human versus making it seem like I'm something that's repulsive. Right. However, I will say I'm a drag performer. However, Mason has been in drag before too and makes a very pretty drag queen.
I bet.
Her name is Sarah Quill, the antipsychotic. Yeah, Sarah Quill is her drag name. And she's
I love
actually
it.
competing in my drag fundraiser. That is the end of May. It's the May 26th, if anybody wants, or 28th, May 28th.
Awesome.
Saturday, May 28th, if anybody wants to come out to it. We will have several performers, a big slew of very, very talented people. Anybody from burlesque performers to boylesque performers to singers to drag singers to impersonators. We may have a Cher impersonator that will be there.
Oh,
So we're
Ace's
really excited.
mama. Hi,
Love
Ace
to you all from.
mom.
Oh, hi, Mom. How are you? I'm so glad you came to watch.
Mwah. Love you, hon.
I love her. Yes. She is incredibly supportive.
God,
It's
that's
been a
awesome.
journey. I mean, just even with me figuring out, my persona and how I want to do
Well,
things.
yeah.
But incredibly supportive. Because she's been there since the beginning of me trying to, figure out how to use all of my talents and things that I
Yeah.
do. And
That's awesome.
seeing that this is, going into something and all this hard work has done that. I mean, from her taking me to theater, camps to lessons, Mom, you're listening to this. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But to voice lessons, to Pensacola Children's Chorus when I was in Pensacola, to, even supporting me as I've grown up and kind of explored things. Sure, we've had our moments, obviously, but I think just growing to understand parents out there that are have questions with their kids, sit down and talk to your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we had a conversation today, talking about how much she learned more about me and growth and things like that. And, it's just about asking questions or sometimes waiting for your kid to be ready to talk about it because some things are very hard.
And letting them know that they're going to be there, whenever that time comes. And
yes,
your mom's freaking awesome for doing you the way she did you and is doing you, because that's just beautiful. And I think all parents, mother, father, should be like that 100%.
Well, and people who are coming out or are, transitioning or are, exploring their sexuality or their sexual preference or their identity, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Parents understand that they're going through a process and sometimes they don't have the answers right away. But also from the other perspective, the people that are going through that, transformation, transition, accepting the life that they've always wanted to live and things like that, just understand that you have to keep these people, you have to bring them on as much of the journey as you can because some don't understand. Yeah. And the only way for them to understand is for us to educate them as we go along, and understand that they have to understand that sometimes things in your life have affected you for you to turn out the human you are. And once they understand that, then they're like, I get it. Yeah. But definitely it's been a journey, and even moving forward, there's sometimes where Mom says, I don't understand why you're doing what you do, and then I do it, and she's like, okay, you had
don't understand, but I love what you do.
Or I'll be like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and she's like, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
All right.
Well, it is time for a commercial.
Commercials.
And the monsters got out somehow.
I noticed.
And then we'll have to answer our big question when we come back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Talk about the merch line.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. I did not mean to push the button.
Yes, he did. He's all like,
our little Oda came into the studio, so he's like, hey, I want to be seen. Anyways, so yes, let's go to commercial, and then we'll come back.
Be right back after these rainbow commercials.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com.
Hey, and we're back, and that was really fast. So, hey, everybody, welcome back to Everything and Nothing.
So you want to talk about the merch line first?
Yes.
Yes.
Since we came off of a merch commercial, that'd be perfect.
Perfect.
Really short.
So yes, one of the things for the future, I am ready to release at my my benefit show for showmen, we are going to release my merch line. And so to go ahead and put the logo up there. This was also a logo
Sorry, I'm
designed for my
slacking.
awesome drag son, Casanova Hearts, or again, Lucas Alexander Photography. He designed this. If you need designs or logos designed or anything like that, or graphics, he's incredible.
Bam.
There it is. Yeah. So again, it has that hat. Mason, can you reach that hat? It has my incredible hat. That I'll have to put on Mason's side. There's the hat that's from the logo, and it has that ruffle coat like it had. But that is gonna be. It'll have Ace O'Hearts and stuff. On the bottom of it. Yeah,
That's
they
really
use
cool.
that to design it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll flash back to the actual logo though. So that logo is going to be on the shirts with my Ace of Hearts written below it, and like like what do you call it? Like the Las Vegas lights, the Times Square lights, kind of thing below it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like on the side.
Yep, and I'm doing
Awesome.
V-necks. I hate regular shirts. This is already irritating me, but I love V-necks. So we're going to be making them in V-neck designs. Also, I'll be releasing another logo, which you'll have to wait and see whenever people get there. But it is a logo of my autograph that will be on hats.
Awesome.
It will be on T-shirt hats. It's my autograph logo. So then everybody will know what my cool autograph is, and then I can actually sign beside it or on the back of shirts or whatnot. Eventually the goal is to be able to have crop tops and tank tops and those options as well. But right now it's just kind of getting it out there. We'll have stickers with my logo on it that people can purchase. But the whole Ace of Hearts merch line will launch on the 28th when I have my benefit show to help raise money. I'm super excited. If you guys can make it to the benefit show, if any of you live in Florida, or not benefit show, sorry, the National Showman Competition, it will be in Kissimmee, Florida. It's going to be July 13th through the 17th. Mine, I believe, is the 16th. Is when the showman competition is. So if you want to make it out to that, get tickets and stuff, you can look up National Showgirl Showman on Facebook. Get your tickets there. Come out and see the show. It's going to be incredible. And then I'll bring the crown home to Arkansas. So that's super exciting.
Yes.
But definitely, yeah. I there's so many possibilities that have really opened up over this last year, and opportunities for even TV shows opening their minds. And I've always said, on TV shows, I could totally be like the kooky one that dresses up. Like everybody's like, oh my gosh, you got to dress up in this challenge. And most people are like, oh, I got to wear that. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. That ain't a challenge for me.
Love
if
it.
you want me to lift something or lift myself up, forget it. Like I tell people all the time, I don't do push-ups, sit-ups, anything that involves the ground. I am 6 foot, and in platforms I'm like 6'3". You ain't gonna catch me getting close to the ground. It takes me forever to get down there, and get down there, it takes me forever to get back up. I know that the air. No.
No.
I'll be so out of breath. Right.
Oh,
that is awesome.
You also have something coming up this weekend. We touched on a little bit.
Oh yes. This weekend it is the Diversity Drag Fundraiser in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It is a fundraiser for an organization called Queer NWA that helps small businesses that are queer owned or queer allies. Helps us be able to promote them, as well as show the queer audience where it's safe to shop or go into. As well as we will have a whole slew of LGBTQIA+ performers that will be performing at the actual event. We'll have over 25 vendors.
Nice.
The show is going to be incredible. I can't even count. I think it's like maybe 12 to 15 performers. They're each doing one number. I'm hosting the event, and then we'll have a big speech in the middle of the acts by the directors of Queer NWA, so they can kind of talk more about the organization. But in the lineup for entertainers, I mean, we've got people on silks. We got a burlesque performer. We have some non-binary performers that are absolutely incredible. We have some singers. Some people might be singing live. There's going to be all kinds of options for that. And I'm hoping, because they're kickstarting this, with this event, this drag fundraiser for Queer NWA, that hopefully it'll really hit the ground running. And I know that if you show up there, you'll be really pleased because they're making a huge announcement that will definitely affect how we approach queer businesses and allies as well. That's going to be a big surprise. I'm not going to give it away because I know there's still works on it, but come out and see it, get tickets. You can either look on Facebook at the Diversity Drag Fundraisers, what it's called event wise, and it's in Fayetteville. It'll be at the Fayetteville Town Center, or you can go on Queer NWA Instagram or Facebook to find the links for tickets as well.
Sweet. I love it.
Has it come that time?
It has come that
time for the answers.
So I have thought about it, and so I would like for Ace to go first, so that way he doesn't get all teary-eyed and can't talk.
Well, I might even if I'm talking. No, I mean for Mason, it's just more along the lines of being thankful that I have somebody that can support me. You know, it's not easy being with somebody that's high energy, that's all over the place, that's scatterbrained. That's an entertainer, that can be a diva at times. And I'm just appreciative that he's been there and that you've been there to really support me and be able to put up with me. And I think that I look forward to many more years of figuring out who I am and having a support system to be able to do so. And I couldn't do it without you.
Oh, that's so precious.
Clutch my pearls.
Your turn.
Oh, yay.
Make him cry, honey. Make him cry.
Introvert on the spot.
Make him cry.
Well, I'd probably just say that it's not that I have to deal with you. I love being around you all the time. That's why you're my forever, But I'm extremely proud of you, and I can't wait to see what our future holds.
Oh, stop it!
You're gonna grow into that. You're gonna grow into just doing the same shit all the time. To like, it's telling each other to get out of your heads. I don't know how many times a day that I'm like, get out of my freaking head. But yet, when I want him to be in my head, he's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know.
I'm not gonna go there.
I have a catchphrase where I'll be like, you're gonna do this, or this is how you're gonna react, and then we get to the moment, and he does, and my response is, do I know my man, or do I know my man?
Right.
I say that all the time. But it's definitely when you've found that partnership. And the one thing is you hear time and time again when you find people that truly love and care about each other, and they've been together for years, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so great. And it's like, do you know how much hell we've been through? Do you know how many fights we've been in? Do you know how
Well, hey, that's part of it. I mean, we got to go through our shit. I tell everybody, hey, we don't know how we're gonna be tomorrow, how we're gonna get up out of bed tomorrow, and all that. So
I'm going to put you guys on the spot, okay? So I have a question for you guys. Are you ready? So for future generations, or for couples like ourselves that are looking to be in forever relationships, what advice do you have for success in a relationship?
You go first.
Don't be afraid to talk about how you feel. If they do something that pisses you off or even hurts your feelings in that moment, don't let it build up. Just be like, hey, that was kind of rude. That was sharp there. I'll tell him, you cut me a little bit just then. Okay. And then it opens up the conversation to why did I do that? Or I do the same thing to him. He says when I come home from work, because he's told me I'm not the boss at home. I am the boss at work.
I'm always the boss. So.
He's told me that plenty times.
Like, honey, I don't know where you think you is right now, but I know where I am, and you need to check yourself before I check your ass. Kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my advice: is don't be afraid to be like, hey, that upset me what you just did.
Have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
And it's because it's easier to have those hard conversations when they happen, as opposed to letting it stew.
Yeah.
And then by the time you let it stew, you're even more upset.
Right.
And then like me, I don't. If he lets something stew, I can tell he's upset. I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. Well, the next day, he'll be like, "So this is what was wrong." I was like, "Why couldn't we talk about that yesterday?"
Because then it was
I
Mine's
know,
always-
because
mine's
then I'm
usually,
like,
it
"Boo,
wasn't
that's
the place
over.
or
Why
wasn't
can't
the
it be done?"
Yeah.
So
He'd be like, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Well, it wasn't the place, or it wasn't the time. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I wasn't ready to talk.
I wasn't ready to talk. And so I'm like, well, here we are now.
Right.
That's when my defenses go up, is when it doesn't. Let's just get it over with.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
let us do.
My answer is communication is like, I feel number one within any relationship. You got to communicate with each other. Don't like not communicate because, like I said, we don't know what we're thinking all the time or how we're going to come off. And that's why I want him to check me. I don't always know I'm coming off as a bitch or however. And if I am, I'll be all like, babe, that's a little bitchy or whatever, just check me so I can change it, because I check people all the time on this damn show and I love it. So, I'm like, check me. And, just really be prepared for change. Don't not want to change for each other because, honey, that's what the world is. We get up every day and we change something. Whether we know it or not, something is changing within us or around us. And you got to accept that change or it's going to just make it harder.
Hey, my mom is correct. That's my mom commenting. Mason
Mason is an
truly
awesome
a saint,
partner.
you know.
And sometimes I think he has to be a saint.
No.
Well, we've talked about him, and my family talks about it all the time. Just as a personality and a person, I'm very scatterbrained. I say I'm a lot to handle, but it's more along the lines of not people telling me. I just know what's going on in my head, and I can only imagine what everybody else is putting up with. And I really am thankful for the level of patience. Honestly, whenever I was looking for the ideal person, that I thought that I needed, it was always somebody that did the same things I did. And now looking at the level of relationship that I have, it's like it's not like I got everything that I needed, but I didn't know that until I'd experienced it, and now I'm completely thankful. And
absolutely,
it's definitely one of those things that even for those that are listening that may be searching or in the younger crowd, figuring themselves out, don't put guards up because you think you know what you want.
Exactly.
Because I went through several relationships, an abusive one, all those different things. And they were people that I tried to fix because I was a fixer. And I found somebody that I can work with and we can grow together. We both have our flaws and we have to work through them. But I'm not constantly spending my time and my energy trying to fix somebody else's problem.
Right. And that's something that you learned and you had to accept that change.
Right.
Paula Abdul, she has something saying when she said opposites attract. Just saying.
Yep. Hey, and I must say, my mom's a saint too because she's put up with me all these years as well. And did you hear that, Mom? He said, honestly. But she's put up with me a lot, and I definitely, working for Disney, as I told you guys, there are rough spots, and seeing your child in a spot that they feel like they're happy and you see your child kind of falling apart, and having to kind of sit back and be like, well, they got to learn the lesson themselves,
right.
That, and again, even with parents, we've been in those moments where we've had to have, arguments or fights or things to even understand each other and where each other's coming from, because we're both growing in life and we're both experiencing different things. And we both may not know what's going on in each other's life. So I think, the root of it, any relationship, you've really got to figure out where you're going to step back and reason with each other versus just trying to hear each other's side. And don't get me wrong, I still struggle with that. I'm human. But definitely, well, thank you guys so much for that advice. I mean, we hear communication a lot, and I think that, Mason being a quiet type, oh, I love you, Sunshine. I love you too, Mom. I love you, Mom Shine.
Mom Shine.
But anyway, but I really do feel like, even with Kevin and like with Mason, having to, I'm sure in beginning of the relationships and stuff, learning when to say something, because there's times where like I have to understand that Mason's version of like my family growing up, when I do something, they'd be like, wow, that's so great. And then like Mason's like, I mean, that's good. Like that's Mason's version. Like that's great. If it's not great, he'll tell you it's not great. It took
I love it.
For me to catch on to it, because it is. I mean, when you grow up so used to, or
Mhm.
even in the world of like entertainment, you're so used to getting that automatic applause or that automatic
Right,
cheer,
right,
or like
right.
knowing how people feel. But when you have somebody that's with you all the time, and it even took me a while too to be like, you don't want to come out to my show? Like I'm doing the same number, but like I want you there. And Mason's like, I love you, but this isn't going like. I'll be there to support you and carry your bag in, but I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
like,
out of there. Like,
and I had to understand that it's nothing against me. It's
No.
just, I mean, and the thing is I'm like, well, what if I do it differently? And Mason's like, well, then you can tell me all about it when you get home. I'm sure you will.
And I get that too, Mason. Like, it took us a while to where I'm like, you go, I gotta sleep, I gotta work, I can't do this. I opened, and that's 4 a.m. mornings, 2:30 when we lived where we did, for me to wake up. So there was a point where it was like he either didn't get to go out or I had an hour of sleep. So finally, and it took a couple of years, it's like, we don't have to do everything together. I trust you.
We're best friends.
I know, right?
Go do it.
I feel guilty if I do it without you, babe.
I'd be like, go do it
I
like
don't
you
wanna
did
do
before
that.
you met me.
Right? Or,
Just-
yeah. Or I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I just wish he was here celebrating this. But then I think he gets more enjoyment out of seeing me act it out, or me tell him the story, than he would if he'd actually been there.
Yeah, because then we get to hear it,
Yeah.
and we don't have to live it, and we can still get our rest.
He loves his sleep. I'm telling
Like,
you,
you two better stop it right now.
they're ganging up on
I
us.
told you
T-Roy.
we'd get along.
But
I did, Mason. I said, all right, so, I already said this whole thing about the extravagant ones have to have someone to ground them. And I was like, I bet Mason and I will be able to talk.
Well, and the thing too is I mean, my family's constantly, my grandparents, my mom, they've all said that. They're like, you better hang on to him. We've seen what you've dealt with before. And like,
Right.
he's put up with a lot. And the Mason's like, it's not that much. And I look at him and he's like, well, I mean,
Right.
he's good at dosing things out and taking it in small doses for himself.
Right.
I'm the one that's like, oh, that's like, did you see that? Like, I'm the over emotional one. Or the one when we watch movies. This is one thing my mom will even attest to, and Mason, of course, has recently, seen. I get into movies. Like, if there is a bad guy and they are being mean, my anxiety goes through the roof. I mean, hardcore. I'm feeling it. And Mason's like, for a person who studied film, you're awfully into this. But like, it just gets in my skin, and I have to walk out. I have to walk and like go breathe and come back. And I think it's more the empath in me is like, I grow to just care for these people, even though they're real, because I put myself in their shoes.
Absolutely.
That's why he can't wear.
I cannot watch bloody, gory shit because every time I do, my empath within me, literally, it drains me. It makes me weak. It makes me want to puke. It makes me just feel miserable.
The first scary movie.
Feel it. Like, what was it? Saul?
No,
or
I'm
some
going to
shit
tell that
like
story.
that?
Let me tell it.
Okay. You do it.
First scary movie we sat down to watch. It's not really a scary movie. It's a gory movie. It's Hostel. And I don't know if you guys have seen Hostel, but it's where Americans
do not
Americans go over to one of them Slovakia places over by Amsterdam, and there's this place where you can pay to kill people. And so he was okay. He was watching it for a minute, and then there's this part where they take a torch to this person's eye, and then their eyes hanging out, and then they take it and cut their. And he's like, I can't.
Like literally, Ace, the freaking eyeball.
Okay, I'm
and
already
everything that's attached. I'm all like, I cannot do this shit. I cannot fucking. I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
I saw him pass out almost.
People who are innocent being put in situations where they're being tortured in some way or another, especially if it's women or children.
Mhm.
I literally cannot take it.
Yeah.
See, and I live for that.
It pisses me off. I get into it, like you do, and
well, scary
I
movies.
feel it.
Honestly, before Mason and I met, I hadn't watched any scary movies. I hadn't gone in houses very much. None of that. And Mason was like, at first he was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go watch it with my best friend back home, when I go visit." But then I was like, "We can do any." One year, I made the mistake of being like, "We will do anything for your birthday, anything, whatever you want." He's
Oh,
like, well,
shit.
the new Halloween movie's coming out. I want you to go see Halloween with me. And I was like, and he was like, well, let's just warm you up. Let's just watch some scary movies at home. Then you're in the comfort of your own home. Lured me in to watching that, watching it, watching all this stuff. And then all of a sudden he's like, see, it's not that bad. And then we went to see Halloween and he jumped more than I did.
Well, that's what makes it the
Love it.
best kind of movie. The jumpy spots are the best.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the thing. You would never know because I'm the one that's vocal. I'm like, Mason, all he does is like, just suck up to me. And I'm the one sitting there like, and they think I'm the one clinging to him. And it's not that way at all. Now, my mom, when we do not do scary stuff at all because the two of us are just as chicken and we will not be there for each other because one of us is running the opposite direction. We're like, everybody's for himself.
Oh, that reminds me of the first time, the only time I've taken him to Spook Trail. We went to Oklahoma.
Oh, God.
And, well, if you drive from where you're at to Tulsa,
It
and
is
you
so
take
much
412,
fun.
you
So
go
much
through
fun.
my hometown and let you take the turnpike. And that's Kansas, Oklahoma. So, anyways, we have spook trails there because it's a big Indian town or Native American. I'm Indian, so I can say it.
What tribe?
I'm Cherokee Choctaw.
And I'm
Okay.
Cherokee Blackfoot.
So my
Okay.
parents actually, they bought their land from the Cherokee Nation, and
Yes.
there's all kinds of stories. And
So were you enough to like
stuff
college
like that.
degree and stuff?
And
like
mine
free
came over
college?
on Mayflower.
What?
Were you enough to get like free college and stuff?
No, my great grandpa was too proud to sign up, and
The-
I
the-
could
the-
now with DNA evidence, I could go and pay and do all that to get my CDIB card. But at this point in life, what's the point? I have good insurance.
What was that thing? Something Dutch or the? Oh, what was it? Where they signed their national or for American name, and I can't remember the Dutch scroll, something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He wasn't about to do that because that meant he could end up on a reservation. His freedoms are gone.
Right.
So he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Right.
And I mean, I have cousins that are almost look full blood. You know, they got all the features. So, anyways, that's where I got my nose from.
And you love your long hair too.
Yes. But
Yeah.
and my grandma, she's where I get the Choctaw side from, and she had white straight hair when she died. It was beautiful.
Beautiful.
The older she
My
got, the
mom
more
has
Native American she
beautiful
looked.
gray hair. Oh, I love it.
So I've started embracing mine. When I part it, I have a white streak coming like this.
Oh, you're gonna be one of the villains in the next Harry Potter movies. I can.
I have a halo. My silver makes a halo. Like literally just the trim of my hairline.
What do you mean?
and
This is all
silver.
natural.
I
And-
don't know if you can see it. I'm getting gray streaks in my hair, and people are like, "Oh, you're getting old," and I'm like, "Listen, you better embrace it." Here, when I get AARP card and you're still waiting for yours,
That's right, bitch.
hey, you know what I'm gonna tell them? I'm, like, no,
Stop it.
I'm gray. Respect your elders.
That's right.
People ask me when I'm 30, they're like, how does it feel turning 30? And I'm like, my age is finally catching up with my wisdom. I mean, at that time, I've been doing the same job for 18 years, telling people what to do. And so I'm like, I've had people that are like, I'm not going to take orders from a 20-year-old punk, blah, blah, blah. And they quit. You know, they'd be 40 years old or whatever. So I'm like, my age is probably catching up with my wisdom. People are going to be listening to me
I'm
now.
gonna have to start saying that.
There you go.
Right? Oh, but
There you
yes,
go.
it's been great.
Are
Yeah, I
you
don't
burning
know
up,
what
T-Roy?
What?
Are you burning up in front of them lights?
Yes.
It was cold.
It is
Also,
so hot in this freaking studio. Like we have no air conditioner or anything in here.
I turned the heater on
And
earlier.
it's
I'm just
so
burning up
hot.
because I'm sitting by this one.
we had the fans
He's
on,
the,
the
same.
windows
Like,
open.
He's a hot water bottle, like 24/7.
But I'm always cold.
I'm the hot water, or no? Yeah, I'm the heat generator, and Mason burns up.
Yeah,
See,
I burn up.
I'm the heat
He's,
generator, and he burns up. Like I'm always cold since
Like, always
I lost almost 100 pounds.
sweating
and
his
so I'm
ass
like,
off, and he's still
I'm
cold.
freezing.
I'm like, are you serious? I'm like,
Whatever.
I've lost 50 pounds in just an hour. I'm like, laying next to you.
I
the
wish
air
that was the
conditioner on,
case, man.
And
I
he's
would
all
be
like,
size
he's
0.
got like 5 big heavy blankets on top of it. And I'm like, here's more, and here's some more. Because
right?
so all of mine on top of him. So he's, yeah. I just, woo.
Well, thank
So if
you
you wanna
guys
lose
so
weight,
much
come on
for
over.
having me.
What?
Yes, thank you so much for having me these past 2 weeks and for having him on with me today. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on.
thank you. No problem.
I guess
can't
it is
wait.
that time that we say goodbye. Stay in the back though, because we got things to talk about.
So long,
We can do it.
farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now until we meet again. It's been so great to talk and interview together out of the box, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
I love that show back in the 90s.
I know,
Oh,
right?
Great.
It's such a good show.
All right, well, we will talk to
Yes.
you in a minute.
Yes.
We're
Much
gonna
love,
go
everybody.
back. Mason, it was great. I
Yes,
gotta find the mouse.
thank you, Mason.
It was great meeting you. All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, say goodbye, babe.
So there you have it. I told you, fabulous, fabulous individuals, and I love how they are because I can tell they're gonna last for a while, for a
Love
very
you,
long
Donna.
time, hopefully for the rest of their lives, because they have their heads on and they want to be together and they love each other, and like we've been talking about, being there for each other, and that's a big part in a lot of like everything. So parents, please, 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 if you have a child and you know that child is confused in any way whatsoever, it doesn't matter if it's sexuality, anything, just take a little bit of time, sit down with the child and say, hey, I know that you're probably not ready to talk about it right now, but I just want to let you know when you are ready, please come to me because I want to be here for you. And don't look at it as, you're not still teaching them, because you will be still teaching them, but they'll be teaching you as well. Whenever I was in Eureka for the Pride for this last time that I was down at Diversity, I had this man, I didn't even know him from, I never met him whatsoever. Sat down in the bar right next to him, and of course I was all dressed up in my bearded drag queen shit, and I was sitting there and he's all like, hey, can I ask you a question? And I'm all like, yeah, what is this question? And I was kind of thrown off because he was asking me a question and he was like not gay whatsoever. And whenever that happens, you kind of like want to step back and say, okay, yeah, sure, because you never know what's to come. And he asked me, he was like, I have kids and I want to ask you, what is the best way to help my children? I don't want them to think that I hate them. I don't want them to think that I don't want them to be happy. I don't want them to feel like I'm pushing them away. So what is the best way in me to show my children that I have and I am and I'm going to try really hard to learn and teach myself how to accept whatever is going on. It wasn't even like sexuality. It was just, they were learning, they were changing, they were trying to figure out who they were, and I felt really just awesome at that moment in time because not everybody does that. A lot, that's when children are pushed away, living on the streets, hated upon, judged because parents don't know. And if there are other parents out there like that individual, come up to me, come up to any of us, because nowadays we want you to understand where we are coming from. We're not all bad.
All gay people have always wanted to understand where we're coming from. Nowadays, they just actually pay attention and
we want to explain it, not. Back in the day, homosexuals were totally like, oh my God, I ain't going to tell you shit. I ain't going to explain shit to you. You don't need to fucking know and all that.
Because they get killed
nowadays, it's totally going to be changing because that's what everything needs to be. Is you got to overlook that ignorance because that ignorance is no longer here. And you got to like open yourself up. Go to somebody like myself, like Ace, like any of us that are out here to help explain who we are and how we become who we were and are and who we're going to become later. Don't be afraid to ask your questions. Tell your children that you are going to love them no matter what and listen to them no matter what. Learn with your child. Don't push your child away. Learn with them.
Be a rainbow in their life.
And be a rainbow in their life. My husband's done listening, so I'm off of here. Love you. Peace and love.
No, I just thought that'd be a good segue.
Later.
Thank you for joining T. Roy and a special guest here on Everythin Yet Nothin. Tune in next Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central for another episode you won't want to miss. Until next time, be a rainbow in someone's life.
Like and follow us on Facebook at WLFE DB Radio.
Oh my God, babe, you got a burger. Like,
Oh,
right here.
bye.
Boogie. Sorry, I totally did not know that we were still live. It's not a buggy, it was a mope.
It's taking forever.
It is taking forever.
Usually it's in it right now.
Oh, it says we're not going to end because it doesn't want to. Let's try it again. The buggy is still there. Sorry, people. You need, let me find something to wipe it off with. I'm so sorry. What the hell? I need to come back with something.
It won't let us in.
The boogie you cannot see because I am so small. I'll hit it for him. That's love, people.
This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, so anyways, we are going to be here all night long because it just does not want to end. So we're going to try it again. And we're going to try it again. And then we're going to
We
try
may
it
as well
again.
bring the guest out back.
Oh, hey. Yeah, we should. Oh, I hate these lights. Oh, my God, to be somebody like myself and have all these lights on me and